Hey, say hi, Daddy. Daddy girl. Say hi. Alright, I'm on the video. Music playing. Ready to get the boat on the yard. Where's my baby at? Let me see, guess who it is. Then, the screen froze for a moment as a video surfaced of Blueface behind bars, speaking directly to his son and daughter. His words were raw, emotional, and haunting all at once. "I'll be home soon," he said. But was it a promise, a warning, or a coded message to the world silently watching his downfall unfold in real time? This wasn't just a father reaching out. It was a man trapped in the eye of a storm, struggling to balance fatherhood with life as a headline. Tears shimmered in his eyes, yet his tone carried defiance, leaving fans divided. Some seeing a broken father desperate to reunite with his children, others questioning the deeper meaning behind every word, torn between vulnerability and bravado. Some argued it was all a performance, a carefully crafted move to win sympathy while the chaos around him deepened by the day. But just minutes after the video went live, leaked calls, insider whispers, and secret recordings began circulating online, revealing a very different side to Blueface's intentions. So, what was the truth behind those emotional words? Was he on the verge of a comeback? Or was this the start of his final unraveling? This story runs far deeper than a simple call home. Blueface's life has always attracted chaos, yet no one could have predicted it would spiral into a lonely jail cell, a fractured family, and the internet collectively holding its breath over a single heartfelt message to his children. To understand how it all came to this, we have to rewind to the very beginning of Blueface's journey, a story soaked in controversy, betrayal, love, violence, and drama, always teetering on the edge of implosion. Once celebrated as the offbeat rap king, Blueface exploded into viral fame almost overnight. His unpredictable energy, unfiltered lifestyle, and wild persona made him both a star and a lightning rod. He was never just a rapper, he was a living headline, turning every misstep into a meme and every feud into a cultural event. Yet the very chaos that fueled his fame also laid the groundwork for his downfall. From the very start, Blueface's personal life was a storm of chaos. His on-again, off-again romance with Chrissy and Rock dominated social media, turning their toxic love story into both entertainment and tragedy. Fans weren't just tuning in for his music. They were hooked on the non-stop drama, the live-streamed fights, the public meltdowns, violent altercations, and even shocking footage some argued should never have been seen. The world watched, both fascinated and horrified, as Blueface and Chrissy turned their relationship into a public battlefield. Amid all this turmoil, his children often remained in the shadows, glimpsed only occasionally in videos or passing mentions, never the focus. Until now. For years, critics slammed him for chasing clout and controversy over fatherhood, with rumors painting him as distant or too consumed by his chaotic lifestyle to provide the stability his kids needed. But in this latest chapter, everything changed. When Blueface picked up that prison phone and whispered, "I'll be home soon," the world didn't just hear a dad making a promise. They heard a man confronting the weight of his choices, the chaos of his past, and the deep longing to reclaim his role as a father. Blueface was at a breaking point, caught between the weight of his mistakes and the fragile hope of redemption. But did he truly mean it when he said he'd be home soon? Could he actually return to his kids, or was it just another empty declaration? Insiders suggest the call wasn't purely emotional. It was calculated. One source claimed Blueface deliberately had the video leaked to social media, a move to control the narrative and remind the world that, despite all the chaos, he remains a father. He knows people see him as reckless, and the video was meant to show his human, that he cares about his children, while also keeping his name relevant. Yet others insist this wasn't performance, it was raw, unfiltered pain. His voice cracked when he said his daughter's name, his son hesitated before responding, and his tone wavered from confidence to desperation. To these viewers, Blueface was stripped of bravado, finally confronting the reality that the life he built might cost him the people who matter most. As the clip spread online, reactions split. Some fans tweeted, "Say what you want about him, but no kid deserves to be without their dad," while others shot back, "Too little, too late. He chose the streets, not his kids." The debate raged. Some saw him as a victim of a system designed to break black men down, while others painted him as the architect of his own downfall. One thing was undeniable, this wasn't just a phone call. It was the opening chapter of a much larger story, a story that would continue to unravel in the days ahead, all while Blueface promised his children he'd be home soon. Behind the scenes, whispers of betrayal, leaked recordings, and shocking secrets threatened to unravel Blueface's fatherly promise completely. What the world thought was a simple, heartfelt moment, a father reaching out to his kids, soon revealed a much darker reality. Just hours after the polished, emotional clip went viral, shocking leaks surfaced on Twitter. A celebrity blogger posted what they claimed was the unedited, raw recording of Blueface's conversation with his son and daughter, exposing a tension-filled, messy reality behind the carefully edited version fans had seen. In the audio, Blueface can be heard saying, "Don't listen to what they telling you. Daddy gone, make sure we straight." His son's response, soft and weary. "But you always say that, Dad." Cut deeper than any headline, the boy's tone wasn't hopeful. It was exhausted, as if this promise had been made too many times before. The internet erupted. Fans debated whether Blueface was genuinely talking to his children or performing for the cameras, with one viral tweet claiming, "This ain't fatherhood. This is performance art," while another countered, "You'll forget he's human. That boy loves his kids." Tensions escalated when a second clip leaked, capturing an argument with the children's mother just before the call, where she shouted, "You only call when cameras are rolling. They don't need no PR stunt. They need their dad." Blueface fired back with anger, snapping, "Don't tell me how to be a father. You ain't been the one feeding the family." The drama had evolved far beyond a simple phone call. It had become a public debate over his credibility as a parent, and the internet couldn't look away. Then, the first major twist hit like a bombshell. A popular gossip account leaked text messages allegedly exchanged between Blueface and a close associate, suggesting the "I'll be home soon" call wasn't spontaneous but carefully staged. In one message, he allegedly wrote, "Got to make sure they feel sorry for me, bro, drop that vid tonight." Another read, "Kids sell the story better than I do. Watch the blogs eat this up." The internet exploded. Fans who had once wept over his fatherly side now felt betrayed, accusing him of using his children for clout. Hashtags like #KidsAin'tProps and his using his kids for attention trended across TikTok and Twitter. Memes spread like wildfire, pairing screenshots of his children with captions labeling them the real victims. Celebrities weighed in, too. 50 Cent posted a laughing emoji with, "You can't scam sympathy," while the game defended Blueface, writing, "Y'all don't understand the pain of being locked away from your kids. That man just doing what he can." The divide grew, the chaos intensified. But just when fans thought they had the full story, an insider leak threatened to turn everything upside down again. Blueface's former managers allegedly sold recordings of his phone calls from jail, one of which sent shockwaves across social media. In the conversation, he reportedly said, "I ain't worried about nothing. I'll be out before Christmas. Got lawyers lined up. This kid's going to cry on camera and it's gone. Keep me relevant." The quote was damning. Was this really about fatherhood, or just another calculated move to stay in the headlines? Fans went feral. TikTok was flooded with split-screen videos showing Blueface kids on one side and the alleged leaked call on the other, while Twitter exploded with threads dissecting every word. Some insisted the audio was fabricated as part of a smear campaign, while others swore it was authentic, pointing to his speech patterns and slang. Then, the first devastating twist came directly from Christian Rock herself. In a raw and unhinged Instagram live, tears streaming down her face, she shouted, "You'll think he'd care about them kids? Didn't even care about me when I was pregnant. He using them like he used me. I don't even know the half." The live drew over 300,000 viewers within minutes, with clips spreading everywhere. Christian didn't stop there, pulling out alleged receipts, texts where Blueface supposedly said, "These kids don't mean nothing. You know, this is about the..." Whether the texts were real or fabricated no longer mattered. The damage had been done. What began as a touching moment now looked like a calculated stunt. Fans were split, the industry buzzed, and the world asked a chilling question. If Blueface was willing to use his children for clout, what else might he be hiding? Before anyone could fully process Christian Rock's fiery accusations, another storm hit. At exactly 2 a.m., a notorious gossip blog known for dropping celebrity bombshells published what they claimed was a full transcript of Blueface's private jailhouse calls. These weren't the polished, emotional words fans had seen in the edited clip. They were raw, uncensored conversations, painting a disturbing picture of a man seemingly more concerned with power than parenting. In one call, he allegedly boasted, "I'm running this from the inside. Don't trip. The kids crying, the baby mama stressing it all. Keep my name hot. That's the game." The internet froze. Within minutes, the transcript went viral, fueling debate, outrage, and disbelief across social media. Fans who had once defended Blueface now questioned everything. The hashtag #Blueface exposed shot to #1 trending worldwide, while TikTok overflowed with dramatic reenactments of the leaked transcripts, and Twitter threads dissected every word, highlighting how cold and calculated his tone seemed. Then came the most shocking revelation yet. Attached to the transcript was an audio recording allegedly of Blueface himself, plotting how to manipulate public sympathy. In the clip, he could be heard laughing, saying, "They'd gonna eat this up." A father crying to his kids, "That's TV gold. Even if I never come home, I'll stay famous." The reaction was explosive. Celebrities immediately weighed in. Cardi B tweeted, "This ain't parenting. This is circus." While Meek Mill wrote, "They trying to break him down, but these leaks wild if true." Joe Budden dedicated an entire podcast episode to calling out Blueface for using his children as a storyline, while fans flooded Instagram, declaring him the worst father of the decade. YouTube reaction channels released hour-long breakdowns of his alleged manipulation tactics, and even mainstream outlets like CNN and BBC Entertainment began covering the story as a cultural moment, highlighting the dangers of clout-driven fame. Meanwhile, Christian doubled down, streaming live with what she claimed was a contract proving that Blueface had secretly signed a reality TV deal before his arrest, requiring him to keep the drama alive, even if it meant exploiting his children. "He sold his soul," she screamed. "And now you'll finally see it." The internet was stunned. Was Blueface's emotional phone call nothing more than a scripted reality TV plotline? But just as fans began to believe Christian's version, then another shocking leak flipped the narrative yet again. A mysterious Twitter account posted what they claimed were Blueface's handwritten diary notes from behind bars. One page read, "They all against me. Chrissy and my baby mama. The labels. They want me gone. My only hope is my kids. If I can keep them close, I can survive this." Suddenly, sympathy surged back. Fans questioned, was he truly manipulating the world, or just a broken man clinging to the only thing that still mattered, his children? The debate split social media in two. Meanwhile, the industry stayed silent, with label executives refusing to comment, sparking rumors that powerful figures might want Blueface silenced, not because of parenting scandals, but because he knew too much about shady label practices. Then, like lightning striking twice, the final shocking reveal hit. At 6 p.m. the next evening, TMZ released a prison video clip showing Blueface pacing his cell, yelling into the phone, "They can try to break me, but I'm coming home. Watch me. I'll be out before they know it." The clip ended with him slamming the phone down, face twisted in rage. The internet erupted again. Some fans claimed it proved he was lying to his children, promising a return he might not be able to make. Others argued it showed determination, a refusal to break, a desperate fight to reunite with his family. One thing became clear. This was no longer just a family story. It had become a cultural phenomenon, a messy, explosive drama that dragged everyone deeper into the question of who Blueface really is, a father, a manipulator, or a man destroyed by the very fame he once craved. And as the chaos reached its peak, fans were left with one haunting question: if. The question on everyone's mind was simple yet haunting: if Blueface does come home, what kind of man will he be? By the time TMZ released the prison clip of him pacing his cell and slamming the phone down, the world had already split into factions. But after that, the debate erupted into a full-blown cultural war. Social media became a battlefield. Twitter, TikTok, Instagram, all were flooded with takes, edits, reaction videos, and conspiracy threads, each asking the same question. Is Blueface a broken father fighting for his kids, or a manipulator playing the world for sympathy? Hashtags clashed. #FreeBlueface trended with posts like, "Y'all don't understand what it's like behind those walls. Let that man see his kids," while #Blueface exposed spread clips of his leaked calls with captions asking, "Father or fraud?" The division wasn't confined to the internet, it spilled into real life. At an LA concert, a DJ played one of his tracks and the crowd booed so loudly the music had to stop. Hours later in Atlanta, fans screamed, "Free him," waving hand-painted signs. Celebrities weighed in too. Cardi B tweeted, "Stop putting kids in the middle of grown folks' mess. Period." Offset echoed, "I know what it's like to be away from your kids, but this ain't the way. Kids ain't props." Meanwhile, WAC 100, Blueface longtime associate, defended him, saying, "Y'all don't know the pressure this man's under. His hustling. His fighting. And he's still thinking about his babies. Respect that. Talk shows turned it into morning news fodder. The Breakfast Club dedicated an hour to Charlemagne grilling him. Is he crying for his kids or his career? Even Wendy Williams' replacement show labeled the saga the most toxic family storyline since Love and Hip Hop. But the wildest reaction came from Chrissy Rock herself, reposting the chaos and adding fuel to an already explosive story. Chrissy Rock posted the prison video on her Instagram with the caption, "He ain't crying for them. He crying 'cause the game caught up to him," instantly racking up over 1 million likes and further fueling the divide. Her fans praised her honesty, while Blueface supporters accused her of exploiting the drama for clout. Meanwhile, fans began digging through old interviews, piecing together conspiracy threads. A 2020 podcast clip resurfaced where Blue casually said, "Kids cool, but they ain't my whole life. I got money to make," and a 2021 video showed him dismissing fatherhood as overrated. Combined with the leaked transcripts, these clips were treated as evidence that Blueface never truly cared about being a dad, sparking viral TikToks captioned, "The receipts were always there. Y'all just ignored them." News outlets joined the frenzy. TMZ ran stories calling out fans for allegedly enabling him, Rolling Stone published an op-ed titled The Tragedy of Clout, and CNN Entertainment hosted a panel debating whether Blueface saga was a cautionary tale about fatherhood in the spotlight or just another messy celebrity meltdown. On the ground, fans organized protests. In Baltimore, a small rally held signs reading, "Protect the kids, not the image," while in California, diehard supporters chanted "Free Blueface," holding posters of him like he were a political prisoner. The duality was shocking, one group seeing a fraud, the other a hero. But what drove the frenzy most of all were the children themselves. Fans shared heartbreaking clips of Blueface's son looking nervous in past videos or his daughter clinging to her mother, with commentary growing harsher. These kids didn't ask for this. The cries that Blueface's children deserved better grew louder, echoing through social media feeds and news outlets alike, as fans and critics alike debated the young rapper's choices. Family members reportedly stepped in behind the scenes, trying to mediate the storm. Whispers surfaced that a cousin had given a private interview to a blog, describing the children as confused and overwhelmed by the sudden spotlight that had invaded their lives. According to the cousin, the kids didn't understand why their father's every move was being dissected online, why strangers on the internet felt entitled to comment on their home life, or why a momentary lapse could spiral into a full-blown media frenzy. The interview painted a stark picture of innocence caught in the crossfire of fame, fortune, and the relentless demand for viral content. As the narrative gained traction, the cultural conversation around Blueface expanded far beyond the confines of one man's legal troubles. Discussions emerged across forums, podcasts, and late-night talk shows about the responsibilities of parenthood in the age of social media. Some argued that Blueface children were victims of a system that celebrated clout over care, while others blamed the rapper himself, claiming that the constant pursuit of fame had blinded him to the consequences for those closest to him. The debate touched on larger issues: the collision of family life with internet celebrity, the dangers of exposing children to public scrutiny, and the broader societal fascination with scandal. Every corner of the internet seemed to have an opinion, and no one held back. Memes circulated, hashtags trended, and commentary flowed non-stop, blending sympathy with judgment in equal measure. Just when it seemed like the chaos had reached its peak, another revelation threatened to rewrite the story entirely. Late one night, a burner Twitter account named Inside Cell Truth posted a single grainy clip, filmed through what appeared to be a prison corridor window. The visual quality was poor, blurry, and shaky, but the audio cut through the fuzz like glass. Blueface's voice, raw and furious, shouted into a payphone with unmistakable intensity, "They think I'm stupid. I know who leaking this. I know who's setting me up. When I get out, they all can pay." The clip sent shockwaves across social media. Fans and critics alike scrambled to speculate about the meaning behind his words. Was he referring to his baby mama, Christian, whose disagreements with him had been public in the past? Or was he targeting his label, frustrated over contracts and management decisions that had constrained him? Some theorists suggested that the threat was aimed even higher, perhaps at figures within the music industry or legal system who had orchestrated his downfall. Within hours, the video was dissected frame by frame. Commentators, influencers, and armchair detectives weighed in, analyzing his tone, his posture, and even the timing of the recording. The frenzy only intensified when another leak surfaced shortly thereafter. Alleged legal paperwork appeared online, purporting to detail the terms of Blueface's sentence. The document suggested that the time he might spend away from home was far longer than fans had hoped, casting serious doubt on any immediate return. The new information triggered another wave of debate. Would his absence have a lasting impact on his family, his career, and his public image? Would the children continue to be swept up in the spotlight while their father remained behind bars? Analysts debated the likelihood of early release, while fans flooded the comment sections with hopes, prayers, and theories. Meanwhile, the rapper's social media presence, though limited from behind bars, continued to loom over the narrative. Every cryptic post, every interaction, was interpreted as a clue, a breadcrumb in a story that no one seemed capable of fully understanding. Memes oscillated between dark humor and genuine concern, reflecting the contradictory emotions of a fanbase caught between loyalty and outrage. News outlets speculated on the broader implications, framing Blueface's personal turmoil as a cautionary tale about fame, accountability, and the precarious intersection of private life and public spectacle. As the days unfolded, the cultural conversation surrounding Blueface's situation became almost mythic in scale. Conversations about parenting in the digital age merged with debates about celebrity accountability, the ethics of public shaming, and the limits of privacy. What had begun as a story about one man's legal troubles had transformed into a broader discussion about society itself, raising uncomfortable questions about how much we demand from those in the public eye and what we owe to those caught in their orbit. The saga was far from over, and one thing was certain. The world was watching, the world was talking, and the story of Blueface, his children, and the chaotic collision of fame and family was far from finished.